Alright, so for this video we're just going to go over the different parts of a cell body, like the nucleus, dendrites, soma, the myelin, terminal buttons, etc. Talk a little bit about what they do, what they're used for, why you need to know them, and yeah, so you just know the anatomy of the cell and some basic functions of what it does. So real quick, I'm just going to draw, some basic little dendrites coming off. I have an axon. This will look clearer in just a second. I'm gonna try and match this line. Alright, then we got a little nucleus in here. Let's draw some little axon terminals here. We'll draw little buttons, as sometimes they're called. They're boutons. And real quick, let me just put in some dendrites. Remember, these dendrites is where this particular neuron, or all neurons, receive information from other neurons. This is where they receive neurotransmitter. It's really the main place they receive. If someone asks you, where does a neuron get its information, the dendrite should be the first thing that pops into your head. I'll shade in this nucleus real quick. Okay, so we have our basic neuron. I guess the first three things when you think of a neuron are the dendrites, which are these guys. These guys are drawn out here. These little dudes popping out. You have the cell body, which I will box in a bracket in here on the side, called the soma, Greek for body. And then you have, let's use a different bracket, you have the axon right here. And then I guess after that you probably should know that these are the terminal buttons or boutons if you're French. I'm not French, so I'm going to go with buttons. Terminal buttons. And it's, again, I'll mark it in red real quick. They're these guys down here. They're the terminal buttons. Okay, so once you know this stuff, you're pretty much there already. Like I said before, this guy right here, this black spot I've drawn, is the nucleus. And a very crucial portion of the cell of a neuron is the place where the axon first leaves the soma, or the cell body. This area right here, maybe color it in red a little bit, circle it for you. This is the axon hillock. It's like a little hill where the axon first starts. Hillock. Alright. So, there's some neurons are going to be myelinated and some will not be. Neurons generally have myelin to speed up the signal that gets sent down the axon, the action potential. So I'm drawing in these little packets of myelin to cover the cell, and really you probably can erase some of these, make it all pretty, but you get the idea. So these myelin cells, if you see them individually like this, kind of not connected to one another, they're just these separate little packets. This is how you'll usually see them. It's an indication that it's in the peripheral nervous system, kind of in your limbs, outside your spinal cord or brain. So it's sort of anywhere in the body that isn't your brain and spinal cord. The cells that myelinate an axon are called Schwann cells. If they were in the central nervous system and the axon had myelin on it, there'd be these oligodendroglia. And if I draw, let's say that this is an axon, and you have these these myelinated cells. Let's see if we can test some artwork here. What it would be is you'd see a guy kind of like this. Here's a cell body, and he would have these arms reaching, kind of something like he has a little nucleus, and he's grabbing. Maybe he would have actually one more here holding on, and he's responsible for multiple of these myelin wrappings. And the name of this dude is an oligodendroglia, or sometimes you'll see oligodendrocyte like that. So instead of glia, you have cyte. Same thing. All you have to know is that Schwann cells myelinate an axon in the peripheral nervous system. Again, that's anywhere outside your brain and spinal cord. But if you're back in the brain and spinal cord, these oligodendroglia with these multiple arms, having multiple of these myelin packets, these guys are responsible for the myelination of the axon. I think as far as gross neuron anatomy, these are the things that you're going to need to know. All right, great.